Okay, so Eiffel Tower here, live with Sebastian Marx.
Hello.
Can you see yourself?
I can.
Okay, the sun's in our face.
Yeah, it is.
Hot day?
Yeah, very hot day.
So-
Well, it's not that hot yet because it's only 11 o'clock in the morning, but it will get hot.
I think
you feel it's going to be hot.
Yeah, I can feel it in my mouth.
Yeah.
I brought water with me, so we should be all right. Tell me what we're going to do today, and then we'll show people around.
Well, here we're at the République and we're going to walk down the Grand Boulevard, or towards the Grand Boulevard. This is like the strip of comedy clubs and theaters in Paris. And it's kind of, I mean, some tourists go here, but it's not the most touristy place, and that's what I like about it. It's kind of like lots of French people actually come out on this whole strip. And here we're at the République because I perform my French show here, and I perform, one of my English showcase down here.
Should I show République as well?
And yeah, you should show.
Okay,
République.
I'm going to show it. And people are watching. I see people watching, so that's Republic in the background.
And they just redid it like 2 years ago. The République used to be a big roundabout. The cars actually went all the way around. Now they redirected it so that this left part over here is pedestrian. So they redid it, and now it's a nice place to hang out.
And speaking of pedestrians, we're pedestrians today.
We are.
So you walk with me. I'll walk. The sun's I'm gonna walk behind you. I'm gonna talk. And you guys that are just tuning in, this is Sebastian Marx. As I said, lead the way, lead the way.
Yes.
And I want you guys to let me know, firstly, that the audio is working, the video is working. Preston, I see you're watching. Maybe you could let me know that everything sounds all right. And I thought, before we even do anything, Sebastian, we'd show this unusual place. Okay.
We were talking about it because I come here sometimes when I go from my French show to my English show, and I come across this street, and this place is called the Lavomatique, which is just a laundromat.
Right.
And I didn't know what it was. I thought it was just a laundromat.
I mean, it looks like a laundromat.
And it says laundromat.
Lavomatique.
But then I saw tons of people waiting in line as if it was a club. And I looked inside, I was like, but it's a laundromat. And then you look here, it's there's a cocktail menu. And wine cocktail.
I'm going to show you. Have you been in before?
I've actually never been inside.
I'm going to show you something cool. So you guys, we're just off Republic. You can come in, and the way it works is you press this button here, right?
Yeah.
And it's obviously closed now, but this opens as a door. You see? If you can show it, so I can show the.
Yeah. So I actually never.
And that whole door there opens.
So it's a whole door. I thought it was the entrance was here. I've never been inside. You've been inside.
Yeah, and then when you get, it's a curving spiral that goes up to the top. It's just, that's a fake wall basically. And you'll see, this actually works. Maybe this would be a fun bit for the 1 minute preview. Should we do it again?
Yeah, okay.
Okay, let's do it again. Do you want to introduce it to?
Yeah.
So you guys, as you
I
know...
I don't know, because I've never been inside. You probably know more about it than I do.
Okay,
Like,
well,
inside, what's inside?
Well, let me do this 1 minute bit, and then I'll do
Okay,
another
yeah.
1 minute bit for you. So you're cameraman now.
Okay, I'll be...
This is easy, okay, you ready? We'll let these people pass. Hi guys that are just tuning in. Okay. So Eiffel Tower, I'm going to let you in on a little secret right here. This looks like a laundromat. Sebastian, you can show. It looks like the most typical laundromat you're ever going to see in your life. Not far from Republic, but if you come in and you press this little button here, it would really work better if it was open, wouldn't it? But this opens as a door. I'm not going to use that. I think it would be better if it was open, wouldn't it?
Well, I mean, I don't know what's inside. Yeah, I mean, it would be more like, oh wow, look, it's like it's pretty much a speakeasy.
A speakeasy?
It is a speakeasy.
Okay, let's get back out. So I'll take it back off you. Well, that wasn't my best idea, Sebastian.
But tell me what's inside, because I know it's like a bar.
So you go up to there, and it's a
It's
cocktail
like a
bar.
cocktail.
And one of the seats is a swing.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Guess who's watching? Amber Minogue.
Oh, hello.
Little known
Hello.
fact, it's Amber that put us in touch.
Yeah, it is.
Or at least that's what she said. I don't know if it's true.
Yeah, she takes credit for everything.
So for you guys just tuning in, wondering what's going on, we're doing a walk show. We've dodged our first car.
Yeah.
We've just done a podcast episode. Whoa, sorry.
We have, which is going to be released on my birthday.
Your 29th birthday, was it?
Yeah, my 29th birthday. Yeah.
So keeping in mind that the people watching this are paying subscribers, and we can be very honest with them.
Yes.
How did you think that a podcast went?
It went wonderfully. It was a bit short. I mean, because it was 25 minutes.
Yeah.
So yeah, I felt like there was more to say. So
Do you feel
here we
like
are.
25 is too short?
Yeah, well, I usually do hour ones.
I think people have said to me before that their commute is around 30 minutes.
Ah, okay.
But maybe just one person.
See, I don't
said that.
think about people.
No.
That's my problem.
So you're a comedian who doesn't think about people.
No, that's my problem. That's my big
Where
problem.
are we?
Now we're, this is a Parchidem, which is a cafe that I sometimes go to. So this is part of the start of the Grand Boulevard. I don't know if it's technically, but it's like from République all the way down. This is a big avenue that's going to kind of take us all the way down. And this is the beginning of the strip. And so we're going to come across Strasbourg Saint-Denis in a few...
So I'm putting you on the side because my mic.
Yeah. We're going to come across Strasbourg Saint-Denis in a few meters, and that's you're going to see there's several theaters there, and then we're going to see even more and more theaters and bars and pubs and restaurants. And so this is a nice little side street that kind of goes parallel to the boulevard that has a few restaurants, and I don't know why there are a few like Asian buffet, what do they call it, like barbecue buffet places that have opened up recently.
If you see one or anything that looks interesting, the way these work is you can point them out and we'll go check them out.
Okay, well I've never been inside of them.
Maybe we'll walk on that side away from the road a little bit as well.
Yeah, so this street, that's the thing, this is what's nice about Paris, is you're gonna have this big avenue, lots of noise, lots of things happening, and then you're gonna have a little side street that goes the exact same direction that the other one is. But it's quiet and peaceful.
And you can walk on the road even.
You can walk on the road.
Amber Minogue says, well, two things about Amber Minogue. First, she says, what? I totally put you in touch. Secondly, her show, Becoming Mammal, which isn't on right now, but will start again in September, I understand, is at that theater right there.
It is, the Beau Saint-Martin.
Beau Saint-Martin. Looks like they're doing renovations to the left, Amber, so maybe that's why she's closed.
No, I think it's just because it's the month of July and it's illegal to work now.
But for people that are who haven't heard our podcast, which is the entire world besides me and you right now.
So this is just a place that recently opened. Sorry, I cut you off.
No, that's the point.
And it's I've always seen Asian people inside, so which is always a good sign if it's an Asian restaurant.
Okay, so it's called.
I don't know what it's called. Fondue. It's like lots of fondue places.
Oh, you know what? The other thing, people like to
It's
follow
like
along sometimes. In case you guys wonder where we are, right now is Rue Boulanger. So far, so good?
So far,
I was going to say, for people who haven't listened to our podcast, you should tell them about your show, your one-man show that you're doing.
Yeah, so
because they might be thinking, who the heck is Sebastian Marx?
Yes, I ask myself that question all the time. It's my one-man show is called The French Language Explained by an American. So it's an English show, but I'm talking about the French language and how hard it is. And so it's kind of like a mini 1 hour lesson. Well, as I said, I'm not going to explain. You're not going to leave this show speaking better French, but you'll at least know why you don't speak better French by the end of the show.
You hate the French language, don't you?
I love the French language. I love hating the French language.
What do you prefer?
Well, now it's all screwed up in my head. I mean, I speak now. I'm starting to translate back. I'm translating back to English now. So like I speak French most of the time, most of my days in French, and so now when I go back to speaking English, it's like I'm translating back into English. I'm like, do we say this in English?
Right.
I don't remember anymore.
In fact, we did that in the podcast, trying to figure out how to say the banks of the river. Remember?
Yeah.
Hey, what do you think about post offices in France?
They're yellow.
Yeah, but do you find them difficult?
No, I mean, I haven't had. They're fine. I don't know. I don't have a.
No.
Why? Do you have like a story, an anecdote about the post office?
I find them can be quite difficult.
Well, this is just customer service in general.
What do you make of customer service in France?
It's horrendous. Well, it's horrendous from an American's perspective, where we're totally used to having someone come up and be really nice and friendly and at our total disposal. Here, that's not the case. Just a little anecdote. I was at Monoprix, and they have a bread stand, right?
So that's a supermarket for anyone.
Yeah, Monoprix is a supermarket, and they have a boulangerie section, a bakery section. And there were like probably 15 people waiting in line to order their bread. And there was one woman helping 15 people, and there was another woman who was behind cutting bread and putting them in bags for later. So this woman who's cutting bread sees that there are 15 people waiting in line, right?
Yeah.
But sees them, looks at us, and continues doing her job, cutting bread. Like why aren't we the priority? And she's like, no, I have to cut bread, put them in bags for people who will come to the supermarket in 5 hours. Mm-hmm. It's just like, why? I feel like it doesn't make. They don't put priority on it.
No, it can be a bit like that.
They don't care because they're paid either way. And so they're like,
It's funny that that you went for a bread example too, because this
Of
is a
course,
country. You think that they would know how to do bread?
Oh, they know how to do bread. They just don't know how to sell the bread, which can be a problem.
So we're off the Grand Boulevard,
Yeah, we're kind of, once again, we're at this parallel street.
a quieter street.
Quieter
Sure.
street. Quieter, which is a relative term.
It must be weird. So you've, as we talked about on the podcast that everyone else is going to hear on Monday, that you talked about sometimes you've done shows for as many as 2,000 people,
Yeah.
and now you're doing a show for 6 people. How does that feel?
Well, it feels fine. I'm used to it because I've also performed for 6 people.
Oh, yeah?
The least amount of people I performed for was 3.
Really?
3. And this was like several years back when I was starting my French show. And I performed for 3 people. And honestly, and I said like in the beginning, I was like, okay, listen, you're 3.
Yeah.
I can cancel the show, no problem if you're, don't feel comfortable. And so it's one person and a couple. So it's, so 2 different
Are they
groups,
paid
let's
as
say.
well?
Yeah, they paid. And so I was like, okay, we can cancel the show and I can.
What's going on in there? Okay. That's way too noisy.
This is a little.
So hold the thought. Just a little courtyard there, which we can't. Usually I like to walk in the courtyards on the show. But so what did you do? You said I could cancel it?
So I was like, okay, do you want me to cancel it? And they're like, no, let's do it. And they were great. They were a great free.
100%
I can't even
happiness.
say, I can't use the word audience because 3 people's not an audience.
What classifies an audience then?
I don't know. Let's say 10 people, I guess.
10 is an
No, I
audience?
mean fine. It was an audience, but they were really like, yay! I was performing for my parents and my brother. That's pretty much what it felt like. So they're like, yeah, good, that's good, go team,
Well, luckily for you now, you're getting bigger crowds than that.
Yeah.
I mean, you want to. As nice as it is to have 3 people in the crowd.
But it's good to have lots of people, but it's also, you don't want to have too many people for stand-up. I like to have intimate rooms as well. Big theaters, if it's too big, it doesn't feel good either.
Who are your comedy heroes?
Most of my comedy heroes are American, I have to say, which probably would disappoint some French people, but I'm a big fan of Louis C.K., Seinfeld, George Carlin, Chris Rock. Those are probably the people who I grew up with, those comics. And today, lots of other ones. As I said, Louis C.K. is still running today. Bill Burr I like a lot as well.
Right.
John Mulaney.
Lots
So
of
lots of
Americans,
people.
you're right.
Yeah, lots of Americans. British people, I don't know many British comics. I mean, Eddie Izzard is great.
Ricky Gervais.
Ricky Gervais, yeah, I like him, but I wouldn't cite him as one of my favorites.
Do you know why this one would be called Les Coulisses?
Coulisses.
I think that starts us
Backstage.
on a theatre talk.
Yeah,
huh?
it is. Because we're actually behind the stage, right? Behind the theater.
As handsome as you are, we should really be showing this.
Yes, please.
This.
Well, this is not the facade. We should go around to the facade.
Let's do it. Lead me.
So this is, I think it's the Théâtre Beau Saint-Martin. No, that's the Beau Saint-Martin.
No.
It's the Théâtre Porte Saint-Martin.
Porte Saint-Martin.
Porte Saint-Martin.
Oh, because of the amazing. Oh, cool. You guys are going to see something really cool in a
Because
second.
this is a mini Arc de Triomphe.
Preston's asking for any female comics.
Any female comics? 2 female comics. Sarah Silverman. And I like Ali Wong a lot.
Cool.
Ali Wong, who just has 2 Netflix specials.
Someone's also asking, what about Sammy Sugar Sammy?
Sugar Sammy, yeah, I'm a big fan. And actually did a podcast with him. My last podcast was with him. And he's performing now in Paris. So I don't know if you want to see the facade.
No, please, yeah, show me. Nice helmet, by the way.
Thank you. It's golden. It's a Torx Wyatt helmet, my favorite brand.
We rode down here on the scooter from the studio.
So that cafe behind is called the Coulisses, which means backstage, because it's referring to this theater, which is called the Porte Saint-Martin.
Oh, wow.
And right now it's Le Tartuffe.
It's what?
The
that's the name of
Molière.
the play.
It's Molière. Yes, it's a Molière.
So Molière is like the
Molière is like the
Shakespeare,
Shakespeare of France.
Okay, so
The
here's
French Shakespeare.
I'll take you from the bottom to the top, guys.
So it's a beautiful theater. And the thing is, you can just walk past it and not notice, but you have to really stop and look up to really notice that, oh, this is a really nice theater. I don't know how many.
I like the guys holding it up.
Yeah. They probably are fed up.
Is that Lady Liberty?
Oh, see, she has it. Wow.
Could be Lady Liberty in the middle.
If she's Lady Liberty, I don't know who that guy is above her.
Mr. Liberty.
Mr. Papa Liberty. So yeah, this is the beginning of the theater strip.
So I'm going to put it back on us for a sec.
Yeah.
So if you're wondering what you're watching, so the woman walked past and did these big thumbs up, but the camera's not pointing forward anymore. Yeah. But we're doing a walk show, and we're just walking down the Grand Boulevard, because some people maybe have just tuned in.
Yep.
And I'm with Sebastian Marx.
Hello.
And we just done a podcast episode together. There wasn't really a theme to the podcast. It was more just chatting about... Kind of like what your podcasts are like?
Yeah, well, my podcasts are really comedy heavy. Well, it's in French, first of all.
Right.
It's called Donc Voilà Quoi. And it's kind of, my model was WTF by Mark Maron.
Yeah.
But it's in French. So what I did was I started interviewing, well, interviewing is a strong word, just having conversations with my comic friends.
Right.
And it's been several years I've been doing it now.
Have you had Gad on the show?
I haven't had Gad on the show.
Is that
yet.
one of like a big Gad?
Yeah, I would. Yeah, it would be cool to have him on a show. I had Sugar Sammy last episode. Sugar Sammy. I've had other people who are pretty big in the French comedy world, but they're not like international stars like Gad is.
You know, one thing about I'm going to show it actually. One thing about up here. Changing subject. That's what happens on the walk shows. Is this? We should look at this gate because this. I'm no history expert. Maybe it's better to look from the other side so we don't have to cross the road.
Yeah.
Come on, let's check this out. So from what I understand of the Grand Boulevard it was like the city. It was like the peripherique once.
It was.
Right.
Way back in the day. I don't know which century, but yeah. This used to be the wall. The city wall used to end here.
I think it was about 1500 or something. But anyone that can Google it can let me know. But so this would have been one of the gates into the city of Paris. Neither of us are historians, Sebastian, so
no.
we don't need to know the exact facts here. But I'd bet money that it was a Charles.
A Charles or a Henry or something.
Yeah, and so you've got
Louis.
a couple of these around the city still. In fact, there are 4.
The 4 in total?
Yeah, there's this one.
There's another one that we're gonna see.
One on the same street.
Yeah.
And then there's the one, the Arc de Triomphe, obviously.
Yeah.
And then there's one at the start of the Jardin de Tuileries.
Ah, yeah.
And I don't know if they're all actually city gates.
I think the only ones are because I don't think
These two definitely are.
these two definitely, but I don't know if the Arc de Triomphe was. Might be
I think that was a celebration of
some victory that Napoleon did somewhere.
Yeah.
Probably.
But hey, look, you're a comedian. I'm a podcaster. We don't need to know the dates.
No.
Okay, green means cross. So you guys, I want you to send in questions and tips or suggestions as well. This is the reason we do it live, is to chat with you guys. I assume the people watching, well, I saw Preston's watching. I know he's in America, but I thought it would mainly be Australians watching.
What time is it?
It's sort of nighttime.
Nighttime.
What time is it in America?
It's 6 hours. If it's East Coast, it's 6 hours earlier.
Right.
So what is that? Like 5 in the morning?
So does that mean?
5:30.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
So
It's up
Preston,
early.
it must be early for you, mate.
Yeah. And so now we're coming to Strasbourg-Saint-Denis, which is a crossroads of 2 different big avenues. And there's like a big theater down here, which I've never actually been to. Called, I think the Comedia, which is right here to the right. There's a KFC, which is a great place to perform stand-up comedy if you want to ever perform stand-up comedy. It's a KFC of Strasbourg-Saint-Denis.
I got a question for you.
Yeah.
You see, there's a woman wearing a beret.
Yes.
Just there.
Yeah.
My question is it French people wearing berets or is it tourists?
It's often tourists, and it's like if they do it, it's kind of like an American wearing a cowboy hat in New York. You'll be like, oh, it's hip to be cliche now. You know what I mean?
Right.
But also another possible reason that she is wearing a beret, especially a red beret, which is like, hello, I'm here, is because France is playing today. It's a World Cup.
True.
France is playing Uruguay, so you're going to see lots of people dressed very French-like.
Sure, maybe we'll see some.
If it's not now, it's going to be in a few hours. People.
Where are we
dress
going,
up.
by the way?
We're going to go continue down the boulevard. I was just going to show that Comedia is another big theater.
Oh yeah, we can see it in the background. So that red light between the green and the blue there. I want to see these theaters that mean something to you.
Yeah, I'm gonna see the Gymnase, which is further down the road, which I'll show you.
So a few comments, they're not questions, but I'll read them out to encourage comments. Hi there, I love berets, says Corinne.
There you go.
And Preston can't sleep. He's in America, but he can't sleep. There's not really questions. Do you have responses to these guys?
Yeah, I'm also having trouble to sleep. I think it's because of the heat. I don't know where he is. I don't know if he's in a hot place.
I think he's in Georgia.
Okay, that's hot all year round, so he probably has trouble sleeping all year round. This is a motor bicycle that almost ran. That's what's great about living in Paris is like you can almost die with several different kinds of vehicles. It's not just cars. That was a motorized bicycle that almost ran me over, and there's scooters, of course.
You got a helmet though.
I do. I could have just done this to the guy.
So what do you make of KFC in France? A lot of Starbucks that you're seeing nowadays as well.
Yeah.
As an American, does that annoy you?
McDonald's right across the street. It's becoming.
That's new, that McDonald's. I never seen that before.
There's another one further down the road.
And what do you make of that as an American?
It's annoying.
Yeah?
I mean, but at the same time, it's well. I started to boycott McDonald's when I was already living in the States. But well, okay, whatever. I mean, it's a natural progression of. What is it called? Mondialisation. See, I'm looking.
Globalization.
Globalization.
Have you become American, Sebastian? I mean, French. Have you?
I'm technically French now as well. Yeah, I'm a dual citizenship.
But I mean,
I have a very French mentality.
But besides, yeah, that's what I mean. Besides the paper and stuff, are you sort of? Do you find that
I feel like I'm somewhere in between. Like anytime I can jump the fence on either side when it's convenient for me. So I'll criticize the Americans when I agree with the French, and then vice versa.
And what about if France was playing against America in the game tonight?
Ooh, I would probably be for France.
Right.
Probably. But like for example, France and Argentina played against each other, and actually my parents are from Argentina.
Oh really?
That was hard. That was harder for me than France. People think that we're speaking Italian. Okay, this is a Porte Saint-Denis.
Why did you do that?
Because like, you guys must be Italian. You look Italian. It's probably the helmets. Okay, I'm going to read this. In 1670, Louis XIV decided to destroy l'enceinte de Charles.
The Charles V wall.
Yeah, the Charles V wall.
Charles V wall.
Yeah, to make way for une promenade plantée d'arbres.
Hey, so it was a Charles.
It was a Charles.
Okay, well, you guys can take a screenshot and translate at your own.
Because I'm terrible at translating. Baptiste.
Okay.
With a tree-lined promenade.
Which it still is. That's so.
But he's used a different kind of gate.
Yeah, I haven't even showed this gate yet. I'll try and get it all its glory in. Yeah, this is a brilliant one. If you guys make it to Paris, I mean, a lot of tourists don't come to this kind of area, I don't think.
Well, because
to see sights.
No, because the thing is like this. It is a gritty neighborhood. It hasn't been total. It's not posh like lots of Paris is. Well, you see tons of pigeons, and just so you know, it smells like urine all over. Like this is like has become a pee stand.
Right.
Like it's gorgeous. Like it's so. Well, because there are tons of bars and stuff here that people come and they urinate. Well, because this strip during the day is actually pretty neighborhoody, and it's starting to become more and more gentrified.
Yeah. Great for a drink at night.
Yeah, can we do a little detour?
So yeah, I'm just saying, someone's asking where we are. So we're on Rue du Faubourg Saint-Denis and the cross of Grand
Boulevard Saint-Denis.
Okay.
No, but so is that Boulevard Saint?
Yeah, that's Saint-Denis. Yeah.
Okay.
So Saint Denis is that way, and this is Faubourg Saint-Martin.
The problem with the Grand Boulevard, this one, is that it changes names 4 or 5 times. Every time you cross a big street, it changes names. I never understood why they changed names on the same road.
Courtney is saying, what do you miss most about the US? And adds that we're not far from her office.
Oh, really?
Pop out the window and say hello, Courtney.
What do I miss with this? Is Friends?
The TV show.
TV show, yeah. Good television. Well, no, we get that now.
No, you mean your friends.
I like French television.
You mean your own friends, I assume.
Yeah, my own. I'm not friends with you. My own friends and and customer service, as I said. This place, right? Le Souli. It's
What do we need to know?
It's a dive bar.
What does that mean?
That means that it's like, well, if you look inside, it's nothing special. Like this whole strip is becoming really gentrified. So it was a dangerous neighborhood for a while. People didn't hang out here. Actually, it was like one of the neighborhoods you should not go to. And now it's becoming really hip. And this place called Le Souli is just a bar that's like a neighborhood bar.
Right.
So you have it's a dive bar, and so it's like lots of locals, older people who are real alcoholics come to drink. But then you have this like whole generation of new young hipsters coming here, and at night it's packed. It's packed. You have people out on the sidewalk, and it's like lots of young people coming in. And
I've been
actually,
there before. For
my brother-in-law was a bartender here for years, and I think he still does bartend occasionally. And it's like it's packed all the time, and there's this real interesting mix, and he's right over there.
That's your brother-in-law. He gets recognized every day, Sebastian.
Guidé avec mon pote là qui est australien anglais et justement on fait le Grand Boulevard.
I'm not.
Et donc justement je parlais de
Do you speak English? Do you want to say hello? Come say hello. So you're a bartender on this street?
Yeah.
And it's owned by the same person, right? Yeah. And this is
Le Prado?
Le Prado.
c'est Benjamin.
Okay.
Benjamin.
And tell me, what is it? Lots of young people here?
It's a mix.
At night, yes. During daytime, it's mostly retired people, as you can see.
Right.
And at night, it's mostly young people and students.
I'm gonna show. Can I just film inside to show what it looks like? Can you show us? I'll follow you in. We gotta show people what a typical.
Yeah. So what's interesting is you're gonna have this like exposed beam to show that it's old, but then it's like this mix of 50s decor.
This is what I like about the walk show, Sebastian. Anything can happen.
You can
Should we have a
you
quick
can see your
find up there,
brother-in-law.
or what?
Yeah, sure. Wait, what? To the sun?
Only men.
Oh, only men. Yes,
Yeah,
it's true. It's only men.
I don't want to film anyone in case they get upset with us. No, we
Daytime, it's mostly men over 50 years old.
Well, in the daytime, and then at night,
nighttime, it's mostly girls.
under 30.
So I've got a question. A lot of people are watching live right now, right? And a lot of them are in America or Australia. So when they come into a bar like this, what's the drink they should get?
Beer.
Just what's the easiest
Never
way?
get wine in such a bar because the wine is disgusting.
Easy.
Yeah.
Order a beer, you guys. Okay, we'll go back outside before we
If you
lose
pay
connection.
less than €3 for a glass of wine,
It's not a
you
good
should
sign.
not.
Okay, thank you for having us. We move back out.
And so it's run by the same, owned by the same people, Le Souli and Le Prado. They're right across the street. And that's during the day it's like a local old retired people bar, but at night it's hip.
That was good. You know, when we go inside, I think it just happened then, you lose connection. Because
Oh,
there's
you
no
lost-
internet.
okay.
Yeah, but it'll work on the replay, but the people who are live
Gotcha.
have
They
lost us for a second.
Okay.
But welcome back. We're here. That was fun. I wish that we didn't lose internet going inside because it adds such an element to these places. You know, you need Wi-Fi.
And so you'll have like the local fruit and veggie
Yeah,
place.
I get nervous going into these places. Ever since I once paid 17 euros for some strawberries.
Oh yeah, you can get ripped off. Definitely.
Yeah, so-
you have to know where to go. You have to know which one's good.
I mean, this is nice. So where are we going?
So now we're just gonna take a little detour, go up the strip, because you're gonna see that there, I don't remember which one. There's like a little side street alley that at night has, well, there's several restaurants.
Oh, I know the one there. The Pizza.
Yeah, well that's one, but I'm thinking of one that's even pedestrian. So that's the thing, like in this neighborhood, it doesn't look like much, but at night there are lots of little streets, side streets that have like really nice new restaurants. So we're just gonna take a little detour and then go back to the, if we have time.
Well, we're pushing 25 minutes, I think. So we should.
You wanna head back?
How far away is this place?
I don't remember, that's the thing. I think, okay, let's go to the next
Let's
street.
take the next left and then go back
Yeah.
and finish up on the Grand Boulevard. We can go extra as long as the battery doesn't die.
Alright.
What do you say? I once paid 30 euros for cherries.
Really?
Too much?
Yeah, it's definitely too much. Also, like that's like a burger place. I think it's called Paris New York.
Hang on, here's cherry prices. Look, this is what you should be paying, Courtney. $6.95 for a kilo. Is that for a kilo?
Yeah, it's for a kilo.
Yeah.
It's probably yeah. That's a good price. Probably.
Courtney, I hope that you bought 4 kilos of cherries. Otherwise, yeah, Paris, New York.
Yeah, there's a burger place up there. So that's like an example of, and like this is another example of an old cafe that Amber knows. That Amber.
Chez Jeanette. So here's a cool bar. Here's a cool little street art going on.
Yep. Street art, and like it's an old cafe that has
That's where we're heading. That's where we're taking.
See, it's trendy because you got this nice mix of old school French, bonjour, with like 50s style tabletops and. Hi.
Hi, hello. C'est juste pour regarder un peu. Merci. Well, we should do the drinking tour next time.
Yeah.
You have a little shot of beer in every single place. Not a shot of vodka. That would be.
Okay, let's go. Can we take
We'll
this
go back.
in?
Yeah, for sure.
Because yeah, the little street I was thinking about is further up. But here across the street there's a little alley.
Okay, you lead the way. Like I said, all scripts burned at the door, Sebastian. Sebastian Marx.
So this is a little side street. I don't know what's down here, but
It's a nice place to come for a wander, especially during the day, but also during the night. I always think it's funny how these places are called traders. You know, like Indian trader or Japanese trader. What does it actually mean? Just a food seller or something?
I think it means food to go. I think.
Right.
I think the literal translation is catering. That's when I looked up the translation of traiteur, they said catering, which I guess is kind of a stretch. But it's pretty much like food to go. If I'm not mistaken. That seems like to be the common denominator every time
Should
I see
we go down just a
yeah,
different
okay,
street and then
let's go
left?
this way, and then to the left.
So we're in the 10th hour on this one as well. We're walking down a street. It's called Rue de
L'Échiquier,
That's a
which
mouthful.
means chess table, chess
Really?
board.
Échiquier.
Because échec is the chess. Échiquier is the chessboard.
You play chess yourself?
I do. It's
Yeah?
been a while. I just taught my daughter. Well, I'm trying to teach my daughter. Really hard to teach a child chess.
How old's the daughter?
She's almost 6. And so the patience is not there. So like for example, like this across the street is a trendy restaurant. I'm guessing based on how, because from the outside you can't even tell it's a restaurant.
Yeah, right.
But then if you go inside and they have the list,
Yeah.
just a little board. That's the thing that's very hip. I mean that's the same in most major cities now. It's like you have to make sure you don't exist so that the people like the Lavomatique that we saw earlier. You have to know it's there. That makes it cool.
Which kind of is why it ruins it if there's a bouncer out the front and a line to get in, doesn't it?
Yeah. But also it's like you have to let the people know that there's something happening too. You know,
True,
you
yeah.
have to give the
But that's what Instagram is for
desire.
nowadays.
Yeah.
You just have 50,000 followers and then you know what's going on.
Yeah.
You know, there's a really cool old basketball court around here.
Oh, I didn't know.
The oldest basketball court that's surviving in the whole world.
Really?
You can see it on the Journée de Patrimoine.
Patrimoine, yeah.
Okay, so we're heading back to the Grand Boulevard.
Yep.
The straight we're on is Rue de Mazagran. Is that we're gonna go down this one? Yep.
Yeah.
This is the kind of street I like doing a walk show on. Here's a question for you from Preston again.
Uh-huh.
He says, what do you think of Olivier Giraud, the guy who does How to Be a President in 1 hour?
Yeah, I know. I've seen the show. I haven't seen the show in a while. It does very well. It's a good show. It's all about, it's kind of like the cliches of Parisians. He does faces, like the Parisian, he imitates the Parisian. Well, he's a French guy doing it in English.
Right.
And so I guess the big difference between me and him is the fact that I'm an American, so I have a perspective from an outsider's perspective on France and the culture here.
So is that a I like it or I don't like it?
Oh, he wants to know if I
No,
like
I'm
it
just
or...
asking myself.
Uh,
You don't know.
yeah, okay, no, okay, let's say it's not necessarily my favorite kind of show, but I understand why it's popular, and I do think it's a solid show.
I think he's
Is
had
that
the
a
same
good
show
answer?
Yeah, well, I mean...
So like it's good for someone who's visiting Paris and it does its job, but it's not necessarily the.
I was just putting a hard word on you as a journalistic. Oh, I thought I just trod on something disgusting there.
Yeah,
People
well,
have been
you're
really
gonna
friendly
walk
with
on lots of disgusting things in this
it.
neighborhood.
People have been giving very friendly smiles on this street as I'm walking backwards along it.
You're doing a great job, by the way. I'm very impressed with your
Thanks,
skill.
Sebastian.
Let's cross the street. We're going to go back on the.
Lead the way. So one thing I love about Paris is that when you go from these really busy streets, like the one we're walking to the one that we're walking on, is the wild difference of
Contrast, yeah.
Yeah.
And that's the thing also with sometimes like little alleyways or courtyards. You go in and all of a sudden it's a whole nother environment.
And it's just about knowing. It's either about knowing where they are or daring to go off the path.
Yeah.
To check out, So that's my tip for anybody watching. Is if you see a nice looking street, don't hesitate to go off the beaten track and check it out.
And so this is a club. This is a nightclub in Memphis.
The Memphis.
I've never been there, but I see the people go at night. This is like a brasserie that's been redone recently. It's called the Bonne Nouvelle.
It's very French looking.
Very French looking. This is kind of like return to the retro French bistro, decor. Like it's really nice inside. Like you've got the wines on the wall.
Yeah, it does look very French, doesn't it?
Yeah. So this was redone. It wasn't like this before. It's been redone like a year ago.
So people are selling a lot of flags and stuff, knowing
that there's the match today.
Australia's out.
Yeah.
Don't sound so happy about it.
The what?
Don't sound so happy.
Listen, Argentina got knocked out. The U.S. didn't even qualify. So I'm all for France now. Of course.
I'm still supporting Sweden.
Oh, really?
My fiance is Swedish.
Ah, okay.
So I'm soon to be half Swedish.
So yeah, you have to be.
Yeah.
You have to be for Sweden if you want to stay married. If not,
Well, if I want to even get married.
if you want to get married.
It's so quiet on the street all of a sudden.
Yeah. And so we're coming to the Gymnase, the Théâtre Gymnase, so the Gymnase Theater,
Okay.
which is where I ran my New York Comedy Night for years until it closed down. The theater's not closed down. The thing is, in this theater, there's several rooms. There are like 5 rooms. And I was performing in the one called the So Gymnase, which is all the way on the 4th floor. And that room closed down. But the main theater is still open. And the main theater is gorgeous. And I hope that we'll be able to go in. So look at what from the outside already. It's like
Where is it? Which one? This bit here?
This one. The Théâtre Gymnase.
Oh, yeah. Wow. Maybe we can try and get in there and have a look.
Yeah.
Let's have a look. Let's have a good show. And we might have to finish up on this one, Sebastian. So it's the Théâtre Gymnase Maverick. And keeping in mind the internet might die as well, so if it does,
okay.
we'll see how we go. I won't venture too far in.
But could it be for the replay? Because if we can
That's
get
true,
inside
yeah.
the theater,
Well,
it's
let's
gorgeous.
try. In that case, say goodbye now.
Okay.
In case it does cut out.
Yes, okay. Bye-bye, just in case it cuts out. Because we're going into the Gymnase Theater, which is this gorgeous theater, and so you can see it in the replay. If we are able to go into the main room, you're going to see it's a beautiful, I don't even know, 18th century, kind of modeled after.
I love your historic.
Yeah, you see, like some century before this one.
Century.
And it's kind of like, looks like an Italian opera house.
Okay, well let's do it.
Yeah.
So you guys, once again, you'll see it on the replay if it doesn't work now, well, we'll see. I'll let Sebastian do the talking. In fact, I'll talk to you guys. So we'll see if we get in. The other thing is, there's going to be a show tomorrow that I haven't announced. Remember the live show I did with Jessie, the one who did the book Paris in Stride? I'm going to go to the Marché d'Aligre, the market, the Aligre market, and she's going to do a drawing, like a live drawing. I think it's tomorrow or Sunday. I'll write that as soon as I know.
We got the green light.
We got in, okay. So more coming up soon as well. Okay, let's go.
So here's the little bar before the show.
Okay, walk me through it. Go on, tell me.
Right?
Walk me through it. This
Okay,
is the bar.
so this is the bar. People come in before they wait here so they can order a drink before the show. What?
Oh, that's nice.
And then, it's old school wood.
I don't make them like that
And so
anymore.
what's nice is like they're lodges. Is that what you call them? Little
Oh wow, look.
boxes. That's what they're called, boxes. So you can go in. So like they're private boxes to see the show.
How did you convince them to let us in? Did you name drop
Because
yourself?
they know me. I've been here for I've performed for years here. So like this is inside one of the boxes. So it's really old school. You see?
It's so dark.
And so yeah, I don't know if you can even see.
Now we get it.
And then we can go to the main room. But then I just wanted to show the.
Let's go.
There's like a little box. This is like probably where the kind of place that Lincoln was assassinated. Like it's kind of like the.
It's so dark in there for. Oh, that's better.
And to have access, so I can go in here. So the main room.
So how long were you here for, Sebastian?
Well, I was I was performing. Bonjour. I was performing in the little room that's in the attic of this place. I was not I did perform here several times, but it wasn't my regular.
The internet's still working.
So it's a beautiful Italian style.
Do you want to do a bit?
The gold and the red.
It's cool. Can I come up?
Yeah. This would probably be a good shot from here.
Does it make you? Wow, this is amazing.
Yeah. So it's like 850 seater.
So
what's nice is that like if you get people to fill up the bottom part, which is around like 200, it already feels full.
does
It's
this?
intimate. It's big, but it's not. It's nobody's that far.
I got a question for you.
Yeah.
Those three guys up in the audience just doing their bit. Does it remind you of the time when you had an audience of 3?
Yes, but thankfully my room was smaller than this. Because 3 people in this room, that would be painful.
So tell me, when you're doing a show here, this is so cool that we've got this now. This is amazing.
Yeah.
So when you're doing a show here, you're standing here.
Yeah.
Who gets to sit there?
No, it's not like there's anyone who has a ticket now. It's not like there's no priority.
So what? People must rush for that spot.
Yeah, I think so. Well, perhaps this one, yeah. The ones that, because
That's where
the ones
Lincoln
in the
goes.
booths over there that we saw earlier.
Yeah.
I don't think they're better than here. You know what I mean? It's better to be in the main part. But that's like, I guess the booths are good if you want to do something naughty during the show.
And I mean, so they would let you use it if you only had this bottom spot rented out, or what is it?
Yeah, I mean, if you rent it out, you can rent out the theater. And so, yeah, I mean, probably you can make your money back by having like 250.
Can we find a trapdoor?
It looks like they should have a trapdoor, but I don't know. There's a door this way going up to the green rooms.
If I had known we'd be in the theater, I would have wore my theater clothes.
You would have put a fake mustache on.
We-
So like if you go up here, there are all the backstage green rooms where the actors can prepare.
Someone's asking, what kind of shows are put on here today?
Theater, mostly plays, pretty big production plays. Also, there are one-man shows, like comedy shows, but usually for a relatively big name to fill an 800-seater regularly.
Yeah, right.
So, but now I think that there are several plays. Like, for example, they do children's plays as well.
Nice.
So I've come here several times with my daughter to see a play for like under 10-year-old. And they're pretty good productions. I mean, so it is a pretty prestigious theater in Paris. So the productions that are put up here are pretty good.
I think I think this is the perfect place to finish our tour. You know.
Right?
Well, if I'm clever, maybe I can set up the camera so that it's sitting on the ground, filming us on stage, and I can say goodbye to us. So we can say goodbye to everybody. Right, stay where you are. I'll see if I can get a good shot of you. Now this is way off script now. Man. Let's have a look. That's not going to work. Can everyone see? Okay. It would be. Oh shh. Okay.
It stands on its own.
It looks like it. Okay, I'm going to come up carefully, and we're going to say goodbye. There's a high chance of that falling, I reckon.
Perhaps put it a little bit closer so that if it falls, it's not going to fall off the stage.
Nah, I don't think so. Okay, so you're perfectly in frame. So you've been watching the Eiffel Tower Walk Show.
Yeah.
Thank you for coming on, Sebastian.
Thank you for having me.
Check out his episode on Monday, which is also his birthday, so be sure to send him a birthday message. Any last thoughts on being on your first walk show?
I loved it. It was great. It was great to kind of show an intimate part of Paris that I know. I felt like I was revealing something.
Yeah.
I shouldn't.
It's like you're on a psychologist, what's it called? A shrink.
A shrink's what is it called? Chaise longue.
Chaise longue. Yeah. So that's what you get. You get Sebastian on the chaise longue. Thanks for supporting the show. Check him out on Monday. Come and see his show.
The French language explained by an American. It's a mouthful.
It's good though. You got it. You got a taste. Go and watch it. Now we're gonna do a show for 850 people. So we'll see you there.
Yep, we gotta go.
Hello. Okay. Sorry. Hello. I don't think they care. Okay. Bye bye.